Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, identity of Farmington victim released. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
We are leaders.
We are truth seekers.
Officials are still looking for the cause of a fatal fire that broke out this morning at a home off Route 11 in Farmington. Roberta Kirkpatrick had just gotten to work at the neighboring auto parts store about 6 o'clock.
We opened as usual. I packed right at the end of the building. I didn't see any smoke or anything, didn't smell anything. And about 10 after 6, a customer came in, says, call 911, the trailer next door is on fire.
Kirkpatrick called authorities while her daughter, Melissa Drollett, and the customer tried to help.
My mom called 911 while him and I ran over to try to see if anybody was in the trailer.
Within minutes, an off-duty firefighter pulled up and tried to get inside, but twice was forced back by smoke and flames. Additional firefighters were on the scene a short time later, and it took about a half an hour to bring the fire under control.
Starting to do some overhaul once the fire was under control, and one of the companies did find a person deceased in the rear of the building.
Sad, devastated, shocked. Horrible situation.
Officials say that an autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Farmington, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And the identity of that victim is Arthur Chip Cardle Jr., 44. NFL player detained by police after Instagram post. Law enforcement officials said a former Miami Dolphins player, Jonathan Martin, was taken into Los Angeles police custody after a threatening Instagram post. The message tagged Buffalo Bills offense guard Rick Chai Ingro and Mike Ponce in two private accounts, while also adding hashtag for the Miami Dolphins and Harvard Westlake High School. Intrigo and Ponce were accused of harassing Martin during their time together on the Dolphins. Intrigo was suspended indefinitely by the Dolphins and sat out the entire 2014 season before he was signed by the Buffalo Bills in 2015. In addition to tagging Intrio, Martin also mentioned Harvard Westlake High School in his Instagram story, a school he once attended. The officials told the AP Martin was being questioned but was not under arrest Friday afternoon. The post on Martin's Instagram account showed a shotgun and referred the private Hartford Westlake Prep School in Los Angeles by name. The officials said it wasn't immediately clear whether Martin posted the photo himself. The school was evacuated early Friday after officials were made aware of the post. The post mentioned that suicide and revenge were the only options for a victim of bullying. sugaring season on track across Maine. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine, Kyle Jones.
Dad, the kitchen's clean. I'm going to bed.
Okay, honey. Hey.
So it is mid-February, and they've only done one run here at Merrifield Farm, but that is a good thing.
Sap's running really moderately today, at best.
Lyle Merrifield has walked the sugar bush in Gorham for nearly 20 years, tapping maple trees in his ever-growing hobby.
This year seems to be a little more on track than what we used to, really.
It may seem like they're a little behind because of the warm winters and record early starts we've had for the last few years. Lyle says this slow drip will soon turn into a splash.
We need the sun out, and maybe 40 or 45 will do the trick.
He showed us the extensive network on his 10-acre lot, leading into the pump house. That's where it's collected, then sent back out and transported up the road to the sugar house.
And that tank, and then that tank just gravity feeds into this evaporator pan.
The first run boiling here last night, 320 gallons of sap, making 8 gallons of syrup.
It's a sticky mess for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
The first taste of this season.
I haven't tried it yet, so maybe it's not any good.
It's good. Merrifield showed us around the shop where he's making plans for the final product, Nature's Sweet Treats, to fill the shelves this year.
Looking at the weather over the next week or two, it looks pretty conducive to good sap production.
And this year is the 35th anniversary of Maine Maple Sunday, and Lyle and other producers around the area are looking to celebrate in a big way, so you can join them next month. In Gorham, Kyle Jones, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And if you like maple syrup, go to the Maine Maple Syrup across Maine. Now let's take a look at your stock market and see how your stock market closed for this Friday evening. And here's a look at that stock market for all of you guys. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your NASDAQ closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. CNBC IQ 100 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the red and went down. US 10-year closed in the red and went down. Euro/USD closed in the red and went down. And VIX closed in the red and went down. And that's a look at your stock market for your Friday evening. Dow rallies 347 points as stocks close higher for the week. Stocks rallied on Friday as interest rates supplied further from a 4-year high, pushing the major indexes higher for the week. And we're following breaking news in our newsroom right now. Special counsel files new charges against former Trump campaign chairman in Russia probe. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
The way and the what? They come from the where. Which do you prefer? Cold toes or wet hair? And if you and I, we could only choose one, it would not be the same. It would be close by a ton. Like the term that you made or his favorite band's name, we are what we choose, and it's never the same. When you play outside, no matter the weather, what sets you apart is what brings us together. Visit jpeakresort.com/deals to get $200 of vacation extras.
Major new development in the Russia investigation. Special counsel Robert Mueller filing new charges against 2 former Trump campaign officials, Paul Manafort and Rick Gates. And the major question still unanswered tonight, is Rick Gates considering entering a plea and cooperating with Mueller? Here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas tonight.
Former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and his deputy, Rick Gates, tonight facing new charges as the special counsel turns up the heat in his investigation. A new 32-count superseding indictment just filed tonight, adding new charges of tax evasion and bank fraud to the previous charge of money laundering brought last October. Manafort and Gates accused of funneling $75 million into offshore accounts, then hiding $30 million of it from the Treasury Department. Much of the money allegedly coming from Ukrainian politicians with close ties to the Kremlin. Prosecutors say that Manafort and Gates laundered millions and failed to pay taxes in order to live lavish lives, including spending more than $500,000 at a clothing store in Beverly Hills and more than $200,000 on 4 Range Rovers. And they claimed that some of the fraud took place while the two were part of the Trump campaign. The new charges come at a highly decisive moment in the investigation, as questions mount about whether Gates will enter a plea deal and flip to cooperate with investigators.
And Pierre Thomas with us tonight live from Washington. And Pierre, both Manafort and Gates have pleaded not guilty, but you have reported here that Gates has been involved in talks about a possible plea deal and possible cooperation with Mueller.
David, until now, those talks have been inconclusive, but make no mistake, tonight Gates is under incredible pressure. Even before these new charges, he was facing up to 20 years in prison, and David, he has a very young family.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. Good night, everyone. Bye.